before I went plant-based, I ate very unhealthy, and I was working around the clock. And you know, when you work a lot, you end up making very unhealthy food choices and exercise choices and everything else. I tried a couple of pretty unhealthy diets that were kind of fad diets, and they never lasted very long. But my blood pressure, my cholesterol always stayed somewhat reasonable. And then a couple of years ago, it started escalating rapidly. And what happened was my heart started racing. I started getting shortness of breath and getting these blinding headaches. And I thought, and my weight was going up. And I thought, something's not right. I need to go to the doctor. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor did all my numbers, and it had escalated even more than it had before. And so she was alarmed as well and said, okay, we need to do something about this. She said, because you're going down a very bad path. And I've always been one of those folks that uses analogies. So in my head, immediately what popped into my head was, I'm barreling towards a cliff, you know? I mean, she said, scared me to death that I'm barreling towards a cliff, because as we talked about my family's health history, there's death from heart disease and diabetes and strokes and high blood pressure and cancer. All that's in my family history. And so as she and I talked about it, I just had this vision of going towards a cliff very quickly, and that all these escalating numbers was just accelerating my approach to the cliff. And that's just how it was in my head. And so she said, in order to slow this down, we need to put you on some medications. And because I had started that analogy in my head, when she said we need to slow it down, what I thought was, I don't want to slow down because I'm still approaching the cliff. I'm just approaching it more slowly. And that's not okay to me. And so I said, okay, well, then that's not a good alternative. What's another alternative? I want to get on a different path. I want to turn away from the cliff. And she said, well, there's one way you could actually change directions, but it's not easy. And I said, okay, I didn't ask for easy, I just asked for a different option. And she said, you can adopt a plant-based diet. And so she said it was going to be very hard. And what I have found is it really isn't that hard. You know, she scared me to think I'll never be able to do this. And what I have found is it's really very easy, because once you start feeling better, it makes it easier. And once you stop eating, you know, all the dairies and the meat and all the other things, your taste buds change. And so many things taste great to me now that it makes it very easy. I never have days where I wish I were eating the way I used to, because I feel great every single day. And all those warning signs of heading towards a cliff, they're gone. You know, the cholesterol, the heart rate, the blood pressure, all of those things just went right down to where they should be. And so there's no medication, and there's nothing I have to do except eat these really good foods that are even easy to find when you go out to eat now. So it's really much easier, and I feel great every single day.